You're live.
All right. What up?
Hold on, man.
All right.
Some intro music for us. As we get ready to do the show. Put my phone on silent. Put your phone on silent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Universal Amphitheater. Well, here it is, the late 1970s, going on 1985. You know, so much of the music we hear today is pre-programmed electronic disco. We never
You
get a
actually
chance
using the Blues Brothers clip?
to practicing their craft anymore. By the year 2006, the music known today as the blues will exist only in the classical records directed of your local public library.
I like
So
it.
tonight, ladies and gentlemen,
Fade it out.
while we still can, let us...
Well, I've been waiting a long time to say this. Good morning, Vietnam.
It's funny because it's almost. Actually, it's only 10 o'clock. And man, it's hot. Like I'm just like, ugh. It's so humid, man. I've been taking these naps in the middle of the day just from like heat exhaustion. You know,
bad.
so pretty bad. Yeah.
Would you spend
Like, you know, I thought, well, dude, I thought like Chicago hot was like hot because everyone talks about how humid it is. And in Puerto
Right.
Rico, it's really hot. But man, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, man, it's on a whole nother level, man. It's like, what it feels like is like, you ever get like super glue on your hand? It takes you forever to like get it out. And then
Yeah.
even when you get it out, it doesn't, that's the way the humidity feels. You're constantly hot, you know? So
Funny. Well, hey, in case you're just joining us, Albert is, as you can tell, he's on his phone actually trying to do this. This is our first podcast from Albert's in Vietnam, or Vietnam. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but Vietnam. Albert's in Vietnam, and I just lost you again, but you'll come back on, I think. You still there?
oh yeah, I'll be back on. I don't know what it is. Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Okay, so Albert's in Vietnam. He'll cut in and out because he's staying in a $7.50 a night. That's $7.50 a night hotel. And,
Yeah. Hey,
and,
it's called Dong. Okay, it's called 7 Dong.
you've been putting some good pictures, man, on Instagram and Facebook. But that's cool because last year you decided to go to Thailand, right?
It was 2 years ago, but I think what it is with the pictures and stuff. You know, I had a couple friends that were like, "Oh yeah, make sure you post pictures," and it's kind of funny because like these experiences are just, I mean, they're you know, when you watch like the Travel Channel and stuff, it's all BS, man. Like when you get here, it's a whole nother, it's a whole nother game. You know what I mean, Danny?
Right? Because do
So,
they oversell it or what?
well, what it is like, my bad if the video keeps cutting out. It's because like of my Wi-Fi. So most hotels claim that they have super fast Wi-Fi. It's like DSL. You know what I mean? It's like, and then once people get on, that's why I was telling you that it might be a little difficult to do the podcast because everyone's like, the bandwidth is like, one modem for like a whole floor. You know what I mean? So, but what I was saying is when the Weather Channel I mean not the weather, the Travel Channel oversells it, and I, by the way, I hope I'm not complaining because like let me tell you, I've had the greatest experiences here, right? But as far as the food, I get better food in like LA because of like you and I have talked about this because of like refrigeration. They salt the hell out of all their food. You know what I mean? Because like they're not refrigerating it. And do you
Right.
really think, yeah, the meal costs $5, but it's worth like $5. People talk about how great it is. I'm like, oh my God, this is so like it's so salty. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but it's about the experience. It's about sitting in these little, the Vietnamese, every coffee shop you go, they have these little chairs and stuff. It's like when I say little, they're like play school chairs. I sent you a picture earlier than yesterday, and you saw how like small I was in there. Looked like I was levitating because you couldn't see the seat.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I saw it. It's like I couldn't believe it. Like I was like,
Yeah.
man, those things are.
But like for example, was like Anthony Bourdain and the president went to this place and they ate some ben cha, which is like a soup. No, dude, it was okay, but it was about the experience. Like you got to remember they don't make a lot of money, so you want to go. Like Anthony Bourdain always wanted to go where the locals ate. Here's where the locals ate. You know what I'm saying? And I've eaten in some nicer restaurants, and I'm just like, they were good, but it's really about being embedded with the people. You know what I mean? Like I went to Thailand, and the people were nice there, but it's the hustle. You know what I mean? Like everywhere you go, like their number one import is tourism. You know what I mean? Like, right. And so everyone's trying to, but in Vietnam, I feel like the people, not that they're nicer, but they're because it's not as populated as Thailand. You know what I mean? Thailand would be like Disneyland, and then like, and Vietnam would be like Great America. Now, both of them are crowded, right? But one's like super crowded. You're going to stand in lines all day. But, just the people are just been like, they've been great, bro, So.
It's been like cool. Like you've got
well, I was telling you earlier, like, I'm in Hoi An now, which is like the old city. And it's beautiful, man. This thing is like, I think it was, don't quote me on this. This is a Mendes fact. I think it's built like in the 13th century. But it's like, it's beautiful. And I wanted to eat. And so like you go on Google and you look for like, places, whatever. Every place I went was nothing but like white people, like when I say white people, like, a lot of Aussies, a lot of people from England, you know what I mean? Like not a lot of people from the States, but not a lot of locals. The only really locals were the ones serving the food. So every place I went was like, an hour wait or like 30-minute wait. I was starving. So I was walking by and I told you the story. I saw this place and I didn't see any. It was all locals, man. It was all, and so I went in and and the girl was like discouraging me from eating there. She goes, no English. And she's showing me the menu. It was all in Vietnamese. Yeah, she's like, no English. And I'm looking, but on the wall they had all this food. And I just started pointing. I want that. And I would point what I want. And, they catered me, but they looked at me like with the evil eye, man. Like, and I told you why, because they were like, don't pull out your phone. Don't put this on Google Maps. Don't put this on Instagram. Because we like the prices. Because they were like,
you were telling me that was like,
I ate like a king for like $6.
Yeah, and you told me that was like the best food you've had since you've been there.
Oh my Danny, dude, that right there was some total Anthony Bourdain, like not even airing, like because all the places he went to have become very touristy. Because they want to do the no reservation. They want to do the, best Thai food. I mean, best Vietnamese food I've had since I've been here, and I was like, and I was leaving. I was like, I felt a little bad because I was like, man, these guys didn't even smile at me. I mean, they were giving me the evil eye, like get the hell out of here, Danny. And I, when I left, I was feeling bummed, so I walked home, to the hotel, and as I was walking, there was these three guys, and they were at the convenience store, like a little mom and pop, like the corner store over there on Marquette, you know what I mean? Just a little shop, right?
Right.
And they were drunk. And man, I'm telling you right now, like I talked to them for 20 minutes and I don't speak a lick of Vietnamese. And all they kept doing was like signaling and like they were just funny. They wanted me to drink, some Tiger beer with them. And they were like genuinely excited that I was there, but they were also really, really drunk. And it was the best time ever.
Tell tell him about that. That guy was trying to tap your stomach. Tap your stomach like you're.
Yeah, like well, he was like he goes, you drink? He goes, drink beer. He goes, you drink beer? And I go, yeah, I drink beer. And he like started acting like he was tapping my stomach, like he was getting a drink out of my stomach, like a tap. So, but let me tell you something, right? Like I know I'm a big guy, Danny. You know, like you know, we like to say big bone instead of fat. but here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. You could take a skinny person, Danny. You know, someone who's got a thin frame, but the Vietnamese they're small people. So to me, I look like a giant, man. You know what I mean? I look like like a giant. And they were super nice, man. And you know, I love this country, man. In fact, this is my favorite place.
Really? I lost you.
We having technical difficulties?
No, I lost you for a minute, but you're back on.
Yeah. It's weird, like, cause like I can't see it now. It's definitely my Wi-Fi, Danny. Like I'm yeah.
Well,
yeah, but this Hoi An is probably my favorite. You know, but it's like Thailand. In Thailand, you know, in each country that I've gone to, like Ho Chi Minh is super Saigon. They call it Ho Chi Minh, but Saigon, right? So Saigon is super busy, bro. Like super. Like it would be like New York. And then I
posted that one picture of you and Mauricio trying to cross the street, and he had stay still because people were like just cutting him off with the little and the little.
But it's what's so interesting is like and you know. Is like it's like a pool of fish. Like you know when fish cross and they never hit each other. You know, you've ever seen that like in the ocean? It's like I told you this when I was at the airport. I almost caused someone to get hurt because I try to help a lady down and whatever. Like honestly, I know this sounds horrible, but it's like you just go. If she's old and doesn't make it, then trust me, somebody will pick her up and keep walking. Because the moment you stop, people are like, what are you stopping for? They're like, it's crazy. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, well, because everything is like bottlenecks, you know what I mean? Like when I went on the bus, it's like herding cattle. Everyone's just go like this. And then the bottlenecks in.
So what's that? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying was it's like there's a genius to their madness because like, let me tell you right now, I've not been in one traffic jam.
Yeah, I mean,
give me 1 second.
Who you got coming out? Who you got coming?
Hi, thank you. No worries. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. I was getting towels.
That's funny. That's funny. And what's that one you posted on Facebook about Vietnam's version of Uber, those little scooters? That was funny.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, the thing about it is like, so what they have here is if you read up on it, Grab basically bought out Uber for the rights to like have like I think it's Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. It's super cheap, man. Like, you know, like especially if you ride one of those motorcycles, like I rode like 2 miles and it cost me like 50 cents. Of course, you know, I almost gave up my life because I'm riding on the back of a bike.
Yeah, that poor little guy probably has to buy a new scooter.
Oh no. So let me tell you, you haven't seen how they transport here. They literally have like pigs strapped on to the side of the scooter, Danny. I saw that in the market. Yeah. Now the pig was cut up, you know what I mean, stuff, but they were taking that and they have boxes that go like, you know, like 5-6 feet up in the air, Danny. And they're balancing it. And let's not even get started on how many family members I see on one bike. Like you see 3 kids, the mom and the father on one scooter. So yeah, so like zipping me through traffic was nothing, you know.
We have our kids strapped in car seats with with all that extra protection on them.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't like, the thing about it is like, for a while there was this Facebook thing going around is like kids of the 70s, like a Budweiser commercial, kids of the 70s, like,
Uh-oh.
like, yeah, like,
talk to you about tonight, but there's this girl on Twitter. Her name is Ashley. I can't even think of her last name. Ashley St. Michael or something like that. She's one of these people that whatever they call influencer. Like me and you are influencers, YouTube influencers. We only have 32 followers, but we're influencers. But no, she put a tweet on. This tweet was basically, she said, like, I don't get the whole Star Wars thing. In my opinion, if a guy gets into Star Wars and video games, he's desperately undateable. I mean, she was basically bashing, and these guys basically ganged up on her. I mean, for like 2 or 3 days, she just got thousands of hate tweets from all of these gamers and sci-fi people, and basically all the, and they're vicious. And then what's funny is I commented on her tweet, and dude, I'm a nobody. They came after me, man. I had like six or seven people come after me, and were
well,
making.
Let's hear Little Miss Innocent. What did you comment?
Okay, all right. All
they came after me. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know who started this fire, and you got gas cans in your hand.
Exactly. Well, she started it. Okay, she did, but I gotta find the tweet. If I wasn't, I gotta find it because I'm gonna spend forever. But anyway, I tweeted. She put another tweet, and she said, I can't understand how one tweet got so many people riled up. I've got all these people hating me, all these sci-fi people and all this stuff hating me, and I can't believe that they did that. And all I put down was, the truth hurts that bad. Period. It's like, she said the truth. Most of those guys are living in a basement somewhere, hanging out with themselves. Yeah. They're what we grew up with the Dungeons and Dragons kids that remember
there's something, yeah. I agree. Well, it's like, okay, you ready? Okay, what about
wait a minute. These guys are techies. I never even seen this feature on Twitter, but the Twitter said 7 people are laughing at you right now. I'm like, I don't know how to laugh at anybody on Twitter. These guys created a feature or did something or hacked my phone and put 7 people are laughing at you right now. And I was like, man, I'm a nobody. Why are they coming after me?
Like, I'll tell you this, okay? This is my thing on that, what you're just saying, Nanny, is people should be able to do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like, if they want to play games, they're not hurting anyone, man, And but if you really look at, like, from a time management aspect, I can't see people that have kids and are gamers because they're not really spending time with their kids. You know what I mean? Like, they're playing and stuff, and don't get me wrong, that's fun. But at the same time, it's like it's an addiction. The whole thing with Star Wars, I get that. There are people that are fans of the film, But like, well, let me hit close to home. I've told you this too. Sports is a huge time sucker.
Okay, honestly, I will agree with you.
It's a huge time sucker. You gotta look at all the scores. You have to watch the games. You're constantly watching ESPN. But I get it because it's male bonding. It's a way males bond, and same thing with gaming. It's a way you catch up.
But when I was growing up, I sincerely loved how can I put it? Just like art or anything. It was, these guys were doing something that nobody else can do, and you watched them, and this was incredible. So I grew up in that era, and I loved it. But like you said, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the last time I sat down and watched a whole game from start to finish. You just don't have the time. It doesn't have time.
Well, think of it this way, right? All right, let's say you got a kid, right? You got Saturday and Sunday, right? Or like When does football air, Danny? Like usually on Sunday, right? And on what other nights?
I mean, now they have like Thursday night games,
Thursday. Yeah.
Monday,
So like
but
on Thursday, yeah, that's time you're spending in front of the TV when you could be doing other stuff like going out and like like
working on the
but
podcast.
but who am I to tell you? It's your life. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
know. But we always talked about.
But that girl's like that girl. That girl got a lot of. One reason she got a lot of hate.
No,
Go
she
ahead.
probably. But the thing is, you know this is true, and I know somebody is probably going to say, no, these dudes are so full of baloney. But okay, there's stereotypes are based in some truth, right? They wouldn't be a stereotype if there wasn't some truth to it, right?
Right. Don't get us banned from Hangouts.
Yeah, YouTube sends us strike one. You can,
yeah, I got a Mexican friend named Juan.
Okay, so there is some stereotypes are based, and we've talked about this before. There's some truth to it, right? Not all, and the thing is, I think some of us laugh at them. We look. You don't think some stereotypes are true? Get a room full of Mexicans and pull out a chancla and see what starts to happen, man. Everybody starts ducking, right? Well, okay.
Yeah.
What that chancla represents, man. All right, it represents some crazy Mexican.
Well, it's mom. Like I'll make this quick point, right? Why is it that the minorities only want to embrace the good stereotypes, like hardworking Mexican?
Yeah.
I love that stereotype. Like, shoot, call me hardworking Mexican all day. I'm like reveling in it, Smart Asian.
Okay, but okay. So like, girl, which was playing off of the general stereotype. Sure, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that are doing the con things and the Star Wars things and all that stuff, and they're running corporations, making six figures, probably making more than me and you combined. Okay, I'm sure that exists, but I mean, there's a lot of guys that just they that stereotype.
But why hate? Like, why does she have to tweet that? That's like a conversation that you have with your friends. And here's the other thing: that type of girl would never date a gamer. And gamers, like, when you say stereotypes are based off of like people that are gamers, probably date girls that are into gaming. There's a lot of to think it's just a male-driven, thing. It's not, man. There's like, there's a lot of women who play video games, Danny.
Okay, her name is Ashley St. Clair is her name.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the tweet. Because she tweets a lot, so I don't want to have to. I don't want to scroll. I don't have to scroll too far down. But
really, I think you're bringing her up because people are laughing at you right now.
Oh yeah, they're laughing at me. They were laughing at me. And I was like, man, I'm like, these dudes are come on, man. It's here. Hang with me. Keep talking.
Well, yeah. You don't have a cheat sheet?
Huh?
You don't know. And what brought you up to this tweet? Did it end up in your feed? How did you hear about it?
Okay. Here's what she says. She's anyway. I just put the truth hurts that bad anyway. But then I started getting. I have this one right here. It says, okay, and these are the screen names of these people that are hating on me. Analytical, whoever that is. Analytical, Kazane, Richard O'Neill. He uses his real name. Stu Cookson, he uses his real name. All right, cool with that. All right, and then
yeah, but I mean, what is it? Honestly, it's like a moot point. They're not going to date each other.
I know, but this is Calzani's. This is his profile thing. Ready? Gamer, making own game, rides on kangaroos to get around. Okay, enough said. That's what cheap shots at him.
I still feel like you're trying to get back to them because they're laughing at you.
Well, I mean, no, I thought it was funny, but anyway, I don't know. How did we get off on that?
I don't know. You're the one that brought it up.
I know. Well, I was thinking about that because of that Star Wars tweet. So let me fill you in on what's been going on since you've been out of the country. Did you know Notre Dame Cathedral burned down? Have you seen that?
Yeah, like it's so sad that people, and I'm sure you hear this on Facebook, like they've already donated money to fix this church, and I'm just like, I mean, you already know how I feel about the church, Danny. Like the thing that drives me nuts, and I'll tell everyone this: so you go to any poor country, and you go to their pagodas, or you go to the Catholic churches in Mexico, and you got people that are dirt poor, and right in the middle of town is this magnificent Catholic church or temple, or you know what I mean? And it's like yeah, it's got a lot of history, but that amount of money could go somewhere else. You know what I mean, Danny?
So you're like Judas Iscariot said that money could have been given to the poor. That's what
Well,
Judas.
there's better use of money than restoring a church. Look how much money. What did they say? 8 billion. They said 8 billion, right?
Oh, 8 billion is it's going to cost to restore that?
Uh, yeah. And of course, this is a Mendes fact. I heard like the insurance claim said that it's going to take like $8 billion to restore it, because you got to remember it's not like you can hire like my cousin Pedro to go in there and fix the glass stained windows. You know what I mean? Like they got to have like these experts go in there and like clean the stained glass. And
Artisans. I don't even know if they're still around. Some of the stuff, but the cynical side of me. Obviously, I was hurt. It was painful to see those kind of the images and people crying, that kind of stuff. But the cynical side.
Yeah, but it's a church. It's a church, Danny.
800 years.
It's a church.
You had a
So
pretty good
what?
run.
It's a church. It's a church. Don't get me wrong, Danny. I get it. Like, there's a lot of sentimental stuff because people have gone and visited Notre Dame. They've taken photos there, and there's this romantic aspect to it. But in the end, it's the church, and the church has that. They have a. I think the Catholic Church is the richest bank in the world, man. Because they back it in gold, Danny. They back it in gold. How come
on that?
Like, our money's not backed in gold. The U.S. dollar is not backed in gold. We're just printing money. The Catholic Church has that much. They have it in gold, Danny. So when I hear that and I hear people booing, like I don't mean to get on my soapbox. At the same time, like, I have no patience for that. That money could go somewhere else. So infrastructure. Infrastructure. Just other things, like people say the poor and all this stuff. Like, don't get me started on that.
Well, I got some more stuff to talk to you about, but before I do, I got something. Do you believe that people that pass on come back and visit us?
Okay, so this is what I believe, right? I told you it's like deja vu. Deja vu is real, Danny. It's real. Like, how many times have you it's eerie, or like how many times have you thought of someone and you haven't heard from them in years and you get a phone call or a text?
Okay. All right. Because check this out. This is kind of, I'm just going to tell you because I haven't talked to you about this yet. And this is to me is crazy. All right. Uh-huh. So, the anniversary of Mom's passing was a couple weeks ago on April 27th, I believe was the anniversary.
Right.
Okay. So April 4th was my day off. It was a Tuesday. It was a couple weeks ago. April 4th was. Mm-hmm. And so that day I something happened on Mom's passing, the day Mom's passed. I forgot what it was. I should have written down because I wanted to talk to you about it. But me and Landon were at Goodwill with Karen. I was with Karen, and me and Landon were at Goodwill, and we were it was Mom's birthday, and I was holding Landon in my arms. And next thing you know, I listen over the speakers, and this song comes on, and it was that song from the 50s. You talk too much. You never shut up. You just talk. And you know what,
yeah.
Albert? Mom used to sing that to Landon when Landon would come over the house, and Landon would be, just gabbing, gibberish like, and Mom would
Oh
start singing,
yeah.
"You talk too much," and I was like, okay, I know that's kind of spooky, maybe just a coincidence, right? So then after that, we were hungry, and I said, "Oh, Karen, where do you want to eat?" We were doing the Whole30, where it's just no sugar and just protein, and all of a sudden, I wasn't even thinking about Mom, but I said, "Hey, let's go to that China buffet across the street over there." So we went to a China buffet. We sat down, and then we ate our meal, had a good time, and then this black older lady, about Mom's age, didn't say a word, just came over to our table and slapped a $1 coupon for off the buffet, put it on our table. She said something like, just put that on. He goes, "That's for you guys," and just kept walking. And I looked at Karen. I go, "That was my mom. That was my mom." I know that. I know. You just have these creepy feelings. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I think it's a stretch.
It didn't really move you.
Yeah. Now if that lady would have hit you across the head, you'd have been like, "Mom?"
Well, no, that happened. That happened the day of passing. The day the anniversary of Mom's passing.
Yeah.
On the bus, I had like two ladies Mom's age. I mean, giving it to me, Albert, giving it to me, and I was like, "This is Mom getting me from the grave. This is Mom right here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man."
We can get a couple shovels and see if she's in there.
What?
And Mom faked her death. I said, we can get a couple shovels to prove she's in the ground.
Mom. Man. Okay, well, I don't have.
I do believe. I do believe in that, Dan. Yeah.
All right.
I would. You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One thing I wanted to say, because I know I'm in Vietnam and we were talking about that earlier. It's like, like you shouldn't have regrets in life, right? But one thing that a lot of older people always say, especially when they start traveling when they're older, is like, "Man, I should have traveled when I was young," right? Like, Yeah. And let me tell you, man, it's like because I've been traveling a lot the last 3 years, and there's something to be said about that because I think people don't understand how good they have it in the States. I see people doing anything to just get $1, like $1 Danny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like carrying luggage, like doing things this is a communistic country, but I'll tell you this, it's a capitalistic country. And people don't, I feel like unless you travel outside the US, you don't really know what the American dream is. When you actually see these people in the market, you know what I mean? The way they live and how, at the same time, they seem like they're happy, and it's not material things. My biggest thing is that if people would embrace the American dream and just not use the victim mentality and work hard, they'll succeed. Because there's plenty of people here, man, that are they're always hustling, man. I came from the airport, the guy's gave me a card. He's like, "You go back to the airport, I take you. I charge you $10."
That's the thing about it. What is incredible. See, because in a lot of countries like Vietnam and Mexico, to some degree, Mexico is not on that level of poverty of Vietnam. Mexico is much, much more developed. But a lot of these countries, what happens is these people work like crazy. They work so hard. But here's the difference, right? In a lot of these countries, you can work your fingers to the bone, but you're not going to move up that much in class.
Oh, no.
More, but that's the difference. That's why so many want to come to America, because they know.
Oh, Danny, man,
come here.
I had
that same kind of effort, man, dude. You're gonna be a millionaire. That's why they want to come here.
Because they love Western culture. They love it. They love I had one guy tell me when it was a travel agency, we were Mauricio. He tells me, he goes, "I love American." He tells me like that, and he wasn't trying to hustle us to get money. He was basically saying and you looked at him. The guy had he had a North Face of course it was a knockoff, but he had that on. He had He had a Nike. He had a Nike hat on. Go ahead.
By the way, bring me back one of them knockoff North Face.
Oh, yeah. It probably wasn't a knockoff. Like the quality is really good here, actually, of some of this stuff. But going back to what I was saying about traveling, like like if you really, really do your homework, you could probably travel Vietnam for like $2,000 for like a whole month. Now that's like food and everything. If you really do your homework, you know, the flights are cheap,
The thing
hotels
about
are cheap.
traveling, I think traveling is like an attitude. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It's
Yeah,
an attitude of exploration. You know what I mean? Like for instance,
yeah,
like yeah, you're going to Vietnam, but maybe you can't afford to go to Vietnam. But you know what? You can explore everything within an hour or two of you. It's an attitude of exploration. Just like
sure.
like right now, we got a little guy landed. We can't go to Vietnam. Karen is the stay-at-home mom. She works taking care of him. I'm the only one working right now, so our we have a good budget that we stick with, and maybe going to Vietnam is not in the car. But like even us, 2 weeks ago, when we found a little town just south of here in Indianapolis called Nashville. That's a great little town, and it was just an hour from
Yeah.
here. We spent the day there, had a great time, and so a lot of people think you got to have a lot of money to travel. That's not the case. You just have
No.
to have a spirit of exploration, like wanting to know what's going on, where how just
Uh,
learning things.
well, I'll tell you this, right? The other thing too is like just Google Map night market. It's the same market. There's one market in the morning. There's one market at night. It's the same market. But like you would act like the biggest thing that impressed me here is the all the fruit, man, and how fresh everything is. That blew me away, man. Like having jackfruit and having the watermelon even tastes different out here, and the bananas. Like it's just they're more flavorful because maybe because they don't use pesticides or I don't know. But
Right.
but the thing about it is like you know the a temple's a temple. I know that sounds horrible, but unless it's got like a glorious sunset, all the temples look alike to me. There's always but going and seeing people worship and how they embrace their religion, you know what I mean? And how like, it's family based, man. Like all this, you walk around and you see all these families eating, walking together. Like if the lady's selling something, she's got her kid right there helping her bag stuff. You know what I mean? It's a and so it was nice to see that, So
Yeah, and
yeah.
then you get all travel. You get to see all those things. But hey, one other thing I'll run by you, because some of this is too deep. I don't want to get into right now. But one thing that I did want to mention to you, and we'll kind of maybe use this as the last thing we'll talk about. But okay, I don't know how I got down this path, but I saw and this is very interesting. I saw a YouTube video, and it was the author of a book called Rising Star. It's the story of the rise of Obama from basically from obscurity to his presidency. And so I listened to the whole thing, and it really really intrigued me. And I said I want to read that because I want to learn more about certain aspects of it. And I'm not. This is not
Oh, the
political.
book?
Yeah, this is not political. I want to make because I know maybe some people might watch the show that are from South Chicago. So I'm going to get there with it. I did not know that there's a South Chicago connection to um, the making of President Obama. If you grew up on the South Side,
Yeah, he used to be part of the program and visit the homes, right?
no, yeah, he was a community organizer. He was a community
Yeah.
organizer, but the reason why I'm talking about this is not so much Obama, is I'm talking about it because we had a lot of friends that grew up on the South Side, and their fathers worked in the
Wasn't it
steel mill.
South Deering?
South,
Why do I have South Deering in my head? It was South Deering, right?
he did a lot of work there, and that's what I was going to ask you about, because in this book, in chapter 1, even if you have access to it and you could check it out online, like through that's how I did it. I just checked out an ebook from our local library here.
Uh,
Or I actually through our state library, I got the ebook and I read the first chapter. The first chapter basically chronicles how we grew up in the 70s and 80s, the big steel mill decline and everything that was going on in those neighborhoods.
Sure.
He actually lived it, right? We went through it.
Does it talk about white flight?
This book is absolutely incredible. It chronicles, details the whole story of how Wisconsin Steel shut down, how the Southworks shut down,
Oh, wow.
Republic, how all these neighborhoods went down. It chronicles what happened in Roseland, Pullman. If you grew up in that area, the southeast side, and you want a great book, I'm not even saying read the whole book. I'm saying get that book and read the first chapter. It is absolutely incredible. And
isn't it because they were making still cheaper overseas?
Well, the thing about it was, and we've talked about this before, when we were growing up, there was an arrogance with a lot of those steel workers because life had been so.
Oh yeah, just like, dude, they're just like auto workers. They think they should make $55 an hour for putting in a rivet.
Okay, but
Bam.
Honestly,
it's okay. It's not skilled work.
But it doesn't make a difference. Any kind of work in a global economy any kind of work, even if it's skilled work, it could be at some level, people will consider shipping it away anyway. But you're making me get ahead of it. But back in the late 1800s, when these steel mills started opening, in the early 1900s, when these steel mills started opening, they actually had 3 generations of people that made their living in the mills, man. So by this third generation, which was our parents that worked in the mills and our relatives and our uncles, they were making killer money. By that time, you had 3 generations of just, and so you remember the attitude when we were growing up. These guys thought they were untouchable. They thought,
oh yeah, going in on weekends for overtime.
Well, right, exactly, all that. But this book chronicles all that, and man, it was just fascinating, and it just chronicles how all of the community groups came together. And matter of fact, some of the people that were mentioned in that book, I know they were contemporaries of our Aunt Minerva, and
okay.
There's a lady in there in the book. I don't know if it's the same Petra that our Aunt Minerva used to hang out with, but there's a lady in the book named Petra Rodriguez that is mentioned in the book. I don't know if it's the same one, but was very, very instrumental in community organization. So it's a really cool book. If you're watching this and you grew up on the southeast side and you kind of want to learn the detailed version of what happened, it's just a fascinating book. One of the things that was in that book was that there was a drinking problem, man, in some of those steel mills. Guys were drinking on the job. At one point, at Republic Steel, which later became LTV Steel, 46% of the steel that they sent out was returned defective. They had that many guys drinking and stuff on the job, and it was just crazy. Really good book. Yeah.
Hey.
Still there, man?
Yeah, I'm still here. I knocked my camera down, but
yeah. And then there was another book that I wanted to recommend to folks that are out there that are looking for profiles in like courage, faith, and resilience. It's a really good book. I found it at Walmart today, and it was really, really, really good. But that's it, man. You got anything else?
No, man. The one thing you did mention the steel mill. The one thing that maybe we should do a show on is that I never really I've been seeing a lot about it is AI, and Elon Musk is huge. Like AI is going to replace drivers, bro. You know what I mean? Like these what's that called? These automated cars with no driver. That, and then look at how much even with cars and stuff and automation. So, but that's all I got, man.
That's all you got. So what you got planned for tomorrow there?
Today, because I'm still morning. I'm gonna go into Old Town and check out some stuff, and Tomorrow I'm gonna go to the beach, which is pretty close.
How far are you from the ocean?
10 minutes, 15-minute walk. Yep.
Well, I don't know if
I'll
we're
send
going to
you
do.
pics.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do another podcast from Vietnam because of the Wi-Fi and all that stuff. But I did want to check in with you and just see what's going on. All right,
Cool, bro.
Hey, well, thanks a lot for this tonight. This is the Danny and Albert Show. We're still trying to navigate our way and improve the quality of production, but I figured out behind our ins and outs, as they say in the business. I think. You hear that?
Yeah, totally hear it.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in. As always, if you like the video, share it with somebody else. If you want to hear more, if you want to hear about something, tell us what to talk about. We always keep notes of what we want to say, but if you want to hear something, give us a shout out on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook channel. Put something there. But hope you have a great week. And thanks again for tuning in with us. And we'll try to put more content up online. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Peace out from Vietnam.
Good night, Vietnam.